Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to explain the Open Range Breakout Strategy, or ORB, one of the most widely used price action momentum strategies in trading. While my EA ORB revolution is placing some trades in the backtester, as you can see on my screen, I'll break down exactly how this setup forms, when we enter, and why this approach works over the long term. So let's dive in. The first thing we need to understand is the opening range itself. The opening range is simply the high and low price that forms in the first few minutes once the market opens. So it can be the first 5 minutes, the first 15 minutes, or even the first 30 minutes. It depends really on your time frame and your strategy. This range really gives us a snapshot of early market sentiment. So we know the buyers and the sellers. Boards are active as news, overnight position, and institutional flows start to work. Once this initial range is complete, we mark really the highs and the lows, and those will be our key level. Let's talk a little bit about how we do this breakout trade. Let me jump to TradingView and let me give you an example. So let's take yesterday. Yesterday, start of the session was just right here. So this is the end of the session, and we started just with this candle. And if I want to create my range, let me take this one. I have the low of my 15 first minute, and I have the high of the first 15 minutes. So this is simply how I define a range. And let me take another example. For example, let's take this one. Same if I check where my session started. So it started here. This is end of my day. And if I want to draw my high and my low for my range, this would give me this range to trade. So we defined the range, we defined the high and the low. And now let's talk about the breakout itself. The breakout, basically, we need really a bullish candle to close above the high or a bearish candle to close below the low. In this case, we really have a bearish scenario. So I can just set a short order on the close. My stop loss is a little bit above my range and 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If I take the buy signal, so example here it's a really interesting case because I have a candle with a wick that goes outside my range. A wick doesn't count in my entry. I'm really gonna wait a candle close. This really gives me a confirmation. So once my candle close, at this moment, I can just set a trade. So let me take a buy position at candle close. My stop loss is below the market or below the low of the range, and I can target 1-to-1 as example. So that's really how an opening range breakout happens. It's really when price closes above the high or below the low of the opening range. The breakout is essentially telling you that the market participants have chosen a direction after the indecision of the open, and a momentum is starting to build out during this session. So, why ORB will be a winning strategy for long term? First, the volatility at open. At market open, price swings more, and institutional orders get filled, creating a strong move. We have a clear structure. The ORB gives you a defined entry level, stop points, and risk rules. So no guessing here. You have a momentum continuation because price often keeps moving in the breakout direction. Because the ranging breakout confirms a dominance shift in the indecision of trend. And finally, it's a repeatable rules. You can just have a mechanical setup. You have your orders, you have your range, you have your signal, and everything is really data driven. So let's jump back to the screen and take an example of an RB with the EA running it and taking the trade. So here I'm on a backtester on NASDAQ. So first we're gonna wait for market open. Market open usually happens in European Central Time at 16 9:30. So it's 9:30 in New York time. Let me just run it a little bit faster. All right. So as soon as I have my range, basically the EA have traced the high, the low, defined the first 15 minutes. And as soon as I have a breakout, basically I have took a buy. And here the EA will just gonna manage the trade. In our example, I'm not having a take profit. It's simply a swing trade that I'm closing at the end of the day. You can, of course, do differently. You can set a take profit, for example, 1 hour, as I have explained when I started this video, and you can keep it as is, or you can figure out a new configuration based on your experience with ORB, your testing and optimization. So let me run it. Let me keep it running to see another example. All right, 12th of Jan. So here basically it's a good example because we have traced the range. We have the high, we have the low. We have a breakout without confirmation. So we have really just a wick that is breaking out. The EA, just let you know, will mark this as a breakout and will just wait for a reversal. And in our case, in the configuration, I don't have reversal active. So simply the EA didn't take a trade. And we can see this inside the logs. When you go to the logs in the journal, you can see the details. You can see when it was filtered and why it was filtered. So simply we have a bi-week reversal filtered out. Why? Because we don't have breakout or reversal that are active. Let's take another example. All right, in this case, also we have the range, the high, the low. We have a close below, so we have a valid breakout as a sell, and we'll let the EA just manage this thing. So as you can see, if it's a buy, it's a sell, or even it's a fake breakout, we're able somehow to let the EA manage it for us. It's a mechanical strategy. We know when the range is defined, what's the high, what's the low, where to put our stop loss, and how to take our take profit. So basically, this system is really something that is mechanical and is profitable for long term. What you need also to know that the most things that impact this type of EAs or this type of strategy, one is false breakout, which we're handling correctly, and second is news noise, because on news you may have a lot of move in one direction that are fake moves or just you have a lot of volume. And news filtering is really powerful. As soon as we try to filter out as much as we can, losing trades, this will automatically increase the long-term edge. So not trading during a news day would be great. And guess what? ORB Revolution have it already, this news filter. So as a conclusion and to wrap up, ORB is a structured price action strategy based on breaking the early session range. It's proven because it captures momentum and market consensus shifts right after the open. Well, now you know what is opening range, how and when breakouts occur, why the strategy can work in the long run, and how to trade with defined entry, stop, and risk. And finally, how to avoid common traps like fake breakouts and trading during news. If you found this helpful, asking you to hit the like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what instruments and time frame you trade for ORB. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to get the ORB Revolution EA. Thank you.